everyone. We are here to share with you how much it costs to bike tour for 2 months.
We'll break it down into 4 categories: lodging, transportation, food, and extras, and then at the end we'll give you the total.
So let's get into it.
What am I supposed to do with my hands? Quick disclaimer, we recognize you can spend as little or as much as you'd like while you're touring.
It all depends on your style of touring, your location, your gear, and a little bit of luck.
We were in Turkey, which is a fairly affordable place to travel.
We just wanted to share some actual numbers from an actual trip, because that would have been really helpful for us when we were planning.
We're also not including gear in this video because that can be so individualized.
Maybe we'll make another video about that. If that's something you're interested in, please leave a comment below. Category number 1 is transportation.
Our round-trip flights to and from Turkey cost $1,750.74.
And we ended in cars on the eastern side of the country, so to fly back to Istanbul, it cost another $132.42. Because we live in a rural place, we had an additional $298.40 in costs associated with getting to and from the airport.
Finally, we spent another $496.98 on transportation within the country of Turkey. This was primarily bus rides and ferry rides.
That brings our total for transportation to $2,681.54. This was our biggest cost for the trip, and most of it just involved getting to and from Turkey. We got our flights pretty cheap, but it is expensive for Americans to fly to Turkey. Category number 2 is lodging. We brought everything that we needed to camp, but when we got there, we realized that the exchange rate was so much in our favor that we could basically afford to get a hotel whenever they were available.
We still ended up camping out about half of the time, either because hotels weren't available or we just preferred to camp outside.
We only stayed in official campsites twice, both for about $10 each, so most of this is for hotels. The most expensive hotel by far was the airport hotel in Istanbul, which we stayed at on either end. We chose to do this because the airport is about an hour and a half away from anything, and our flights got in late or left early, and so we just wanted to save ourselves some stress. So that cost us $294.40 each time.
The rest of the lodging added up to $1,203.50 for a grand total of $1,790.30. One note, we did stay with our friends in Mersin for about a week. This number probably would have been $200 or $300 higher if we had been on the road for that time.
Category number 3, food.
As you'd expect, eating out was much more expensive than cooking our own food. But one of the best things about being in Turkey is the amazing cuisine.
So we ate out quite a bit, but we still cooked for ourselves when we were outside of towns or cities. And we almost always ate at least 1 or 2 meals on our own.
All in all, our food costs totaled $1,350.40. Yeah. Category number 4, extras.
This includes our visas, which cost us $103, and our trip insurance, which we paid $111.36 for. There were a few other expensive experiences as well, like the balloon flight in Cappadocia and a hammam in Cappadocia. Cappadocia was a pretty expensive spot. Other than that, this included mostly entrance fees to museums and archaeological sites, or gifts or random things that we needed, like hair ties or fuel for our stove.
In total, we spent $1,567 on extras while in Turkey.
Our grand total for our 2-month trip in Turkey was $7,393.21. That's not the same number.
I was like, wow, it got cheaper.
2 cents. $7,393.23, or about $3,696.62 per person.
That works out to about $60 per person per day. Now remember, about a quarter of the total cost was just getting to and from Turkey. And we had also been saving up for years, so we had plenty of money to spend on the experiences we wanted. If you're thoughtful about where you visit and the experiences you shell out for, I think it would be reasonable to spend 75% or even half of this.
But as it was, we loved how our trip turned out, and we're so grateful for the memories that it's given us. If you'd like to see how our adventure went, go ahead and click on this playlist.
To pick a spot.
I think it's over here. It will be above Chris's head. And we will see you in Turkey.
I think I ruined it.